Support for this podcast comes from the law firm of Davis Malm. Whether you're a developer, property owner, manager, or commercial tenant, their real estate attorneys know the lay of the land, not just the law. Learn more at davismalm.com.
WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Common. WBUR reporter Arielle Gray.
Hey.
You got something in your hand.
I have got some crystals here that I brought from home.
Some crystals? Okay.
Yes. How are you feeling?
You really want to know?
What type of energy are you needing?
I'm feeling a little down. Yeah.
I'm going to give you this black tourmaline.
My spirit is squished. All right, let's see. It's very black. Like if somebody put licorice under a magnifying glass or something.
Yeah.
What does this crystal do?
So black tourmaline is like one of the best stones out there for protection. It deflects negative energy.
Oh, man.
And helps dispel negative thoughts and emotions.
I am into that. So, Ari, we're talking about crystals because you just profiled a new Black-owned crystal shop here in Boston. Please, tell us more about it.
So I had been searching forever for a Black-owned crystal shop near me. Mm-hmm. And eventually, I forget who told me about Body Stone and Soul, but it was kind of like a word-of-mouth thing. And I was like, oh, man, I have to check them out. I got to interview the owners of the shop. So that's Tasha Kitty and her son, Marcel Morris Howell. And they run the shop together. The store has been open for a little over a year now, so it's still relatively new. And it's just this really cute space that's tucked underneath a triple-decker in Jamaica Plain, a little easy to miss from the main street, but it's there if you're looking for it. As soon as you go in, you feel your energy calming. There's incense billowing around the room. There are crystals glittering from every corner. There's music playing. It's just this really nice vibe inside that makes you want to stay for a really long time. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not the biggest space, but they pack a ton into the space that they do have.
Tell us more about the owners, Tasha and Marcel.
Yes. So Tasha Kitty and Marcel Morris Howell, like I said, are mother and son. And so they've been running Body Stone and Soul as a business for a couple of years now. And Tasha kind of got her start in crystals when she was really young. She was around like 10 years old. And she did this thing where she saw a crystal and she was so enamored with it that she took it home. And ever since then, she's just been super interested in crystals and what it is that they can do. And so when her son Marcel turned 18, she gave him something called a pie stone, which is a really good stone to give to your child. She actually hung it above his door. And so he opened his door and saw this pie stone, and that was his introduction into the world of crystals. So ever since then, they've had like this love, not just for crystals, but I think for different spiritual practices in general, things like Reiki, they also do at the shop. They also do tarot card readings at the shop. Their love coalesced into this business, and eventually they were able to find this open storefront in Jamaica Plain, and that's where they are now.
What is Body Stone and Soul responding to with their store? Like, what kind of cultural contribution are they trying to make to the city?
I think that they want to offer their services to everyone. You know, Tasha says, in our interview, she spoke about how everybody is welcome at their store. Here she is talking a little bit about that.
We welcome people here from all backgrounds, and people from all backgrounds come in here. I think crystals are, the earth's gift to everyone.
So for her, crystals provide this ability to cross divides that people may have culturally, racially. Crystals are kind of like this, this thing that connects people across differences. That's how she views them, and that's how she views her store. This place where people can come, no matter where they come from, and find peace and find some sort of healing.
We're going to take a break, but we'll be right back.
did you kill Marlene Johnson?
I think you're one of the first people to have actually asked.
From WBUR and ZSP Media, this is Beyond All Repair, a new podcast about an unsolved murder that will leave you questioning everything.
Somebody should be in jail for murdering my sister.
A woman who's never been believed.
As long as they think I have done this, then they're not looking for who actually did this.
And that's what makes it a cold case.
No, it's a botched case.
And a search for the truth, once and for all.
Wow, it just gets more interesting.
Beyond All Repair. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Be careful. You're digging in a place that's been very peaceful for a while.
Do it anyway. Dig.
And we are back with more from Arielle Gray. So, Body Stone and Soul, it's a Black-owned, family-owned shop, right? And, you know, I see crystals a lot, particularly in the Black community, right? Can you talk about the connection there between the practice of using crystals and Black folks?
Yeah, I will say that in general, in like our larger culture, crystals have really gained popularity in the past couple of years. Some people attribute it to the pandemic and people kind of feeling like they need a sense of control over their lives. And people have talked about before how folks often will turn to different spiritualist practices in times that are dire. And the pandemic was a dire time for a lot of people. So a lot of people turned to things like crystals. Celebrities also had a hand in bringing crystals back. Celebrities like Adele, Victoria Beckham, I think Gwyneth Paltrow. So many different celebrities were advertising their use of crystals that it just became popular. And that does coincide with a rise, I think, of interest in crystals, specifically in the Black community. Black people have always kind of created their own religion, especially in the Americas. A lot of our religions are syncretized with Christianity or Catholicism. So we have things like Santeria, voodoo, hoodoo, obeah. And a lot of folks recently in the past couple of years, especially young Black people, have found themselves returning to a lot of these African-derived religions instead of traditionally the Black community has been very church-heavy, Very church-heavy. They're searching for all of these different ways to practice spirituality that falls outside of the confines of Christianity. And so that's where we're seeing a lot of folks kind of turning to crystals because crystals fall kind of underneath that umbrella of spiritualist practices. And so now we see an interest in crystals, not just crystals, but tarot cards and other things, other ways that folks are able to, derive their own individual spiritual practices. And I actually talked to J.T. Rohn, who is a professor of Africana Studies and Geography at Rutgers University. And here's what he had to say.
They provide working class Black people with effective religion, whether that's through conjuring, whether that's through tarot, whether that's through other kinds of direct interface with the divine and the spiritual and the ancestral.
And so basically what he talks about is that these spiritualist practices allow Black people to reimagine a cosmos in which they are free and free to practice what they want. And that's really where the power, I think, of it all lies.
So there's Black folks, we've gone to the past to create our future. There's an Afrofuturist tone to this.
Yeah. I definitely have seen this uptick in folks who look like me around my age being like, you know what? Christianity itself isn't working for me. What are my other options? And the one thing I think is important to mention is that just because someone believes in crystals does not mean that they're not Christian as well.
Right.
There are a lot of folks who are
anybody.
Right, exactly. There are a lot of folks who are Christian who believe in tarot cards, who believe in crystals. And there are a lot of people who believe in crystals and tarot cards but may not be Christian. So again, it's all about that individual approach to spirituality.
So there's no scientific evidence that, crystals have these special properties or anything like that. The power comes from folks' belief in them, right? And they can fit into anybody's life. You can wear it, you keep it in your house, etc. If folks want to learn more about crystals, where's a good place for them to start reading?
I think identifying the problem areas in your life first is a great place to start. But say I'm having a lot of trouble at work, I'm having trouble sticking up for myself, or I'm having trouble staying calm, or I need more confidence. You would identify that problem, and then it could be as simple as a Google search, and you can literally search crystals that are good for confidence. And it'll pop up a good list of crystals. And there are a ton of crystals that do a ton of different things, so you have options. And then I would go into a store like Body, Stone, and Soul with a few crystals in mind that I know that I'm drawn to. A lot of folks at metaphysical shops, they're very knowledgeable, and they can help you in figuring out which stones would be good for you. So that's where I would start.
All right. Well, Ari, thank you so very much for coming through to The Common and sharing this with us, helping us get our minds, our bodies, and our souls right. Thank you so much. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I hope you get a couple of crystals for yourself.
Man, listen, might come in here looking like Thanos.
I know, with the Infinity Stones,
For real. That's WBUR reporter Arielle Gray. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Common. Folks, share with us your favorite crystal. Hit us up on Instagram at WBUR The Common, or send us an email at thecommon@wbur.org. I'm taking recommendations also. Hit us up. So with that, I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.